Example of hey Paul, did you call Jed right now? Yeah.
You can talk outside, but you can't stay in here.
Reports suggest the YouTuber placed dozens of high-stakes bets, with some wagers exceeding $200,000. The leaked footage shattered his larger-than-life persona, making him appear small, frightened, and cowardly.
Like, they're suing me for something I didn't do.
They are promoting it, it's their choice, and they need to be held accountable for abusing the trust between them.
The boxing world saw a side of Jake Paul no one ever expected. There he was, handcuffed, sitting in the back of a police squad car, his voice shaking as he begged the officers not to take him into custody.
Rice Gum, Jake Paul, and Morgs all being the culprits. They knowingly promoted Mystery Brand to their very young.
The cocky, loudmouth persona fans had seen for years was suddenly gone. In its place was someone who looked small, desperate, and completely exposed. Within hours, the video had racked up millions of views. But behind the viral chaos, there was a deeper story. For all his bravado, it was hard not to feel something for Jake. A man who spent years projecting invincibility, now reduced to pure panic. This was the fallout of a multi-million-dollar gambling scandal finally catching up to him.
Like, it just pisses me the fuck off. And then
Jake had been placing extremely high-stakes bets, reportedly anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000 per wager, including bets on fights he was personally involved in. Some reports even suggest he placed prop bets against himself, such as how many rounds the fight would last, how many punches he'd land, or whether he'd score a knockout. These were massive, calculated risks that could cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single night.
And they absolutely should be held accountable for promoting. You as an influencer, whatever you endorse, you choose to endorse. Jake, Rice Gum, and Morgs have all said and they've actively been promoting this website.
And let's be honest, anyone who followed Jake's career could see something like this coming. His reckless behavior, constant provocation, and obsession with pushing limits created the perfect storm. It felt like only a matter of time before consequences caught up. Every insider tip, every risky wager, and every high-stakes bet added more pressure. And eventually, it all erupted in that squad car moment.
it's just like so annoying. It's like, why am I giving, like, not only did I spend like my time, my effort, my energy, my mom.
The canceled fight with Gervonta Tank Davis only made things worse. Jake publicly spun the situation as a heroic stand, claiming Netflix had pulled the plug and insisting he was defending women, an attempt to portray himself as morally righteous. And for a brief moment, the narrative worked. Fans online praised him, believing Jake Paul had finally taken the high road.
Because you have someone that, we come from two different sides, like, of the world. We still on the same path to get the same thing.
One of the most feared punchers in the sport of boxing. He's got a 93% knockout percentage. That's one of the best among current world champions.
But according to alleged insiders, including Kenny Ellis and members of Gervonta's team, the real story was very different. They claimed Jake backed out because he was overwhelmed. The contract required him to make 195 pounds, and reportedly, he wasn't even close. His training camp was said to be falling apart, his conditioning slipping, and the pressure of stepping into a high-stakes fight with Tank Davis becoming too much. In their view, it wasn't courage, it was fear. And watching him publicly spin that fear into heroism only made the situation look even more tragic and desperate.
Tank's team is now fighting back, and they're stating that Netflix did not, in fact, cancel the bout.
He has made a significant impact on the sport of boxing. He has certainly brought new eyes to the sport. He's done so much in uplifting women's boxing.
What made the situation even more explosive were the allegations linking the canceled fight directly to Jake's gambling activities. According to the reported betting records, Jake supposedly had over $1.2 million placed on prop bets for that fight alone. Rounds, points, knockout odds, and more. Going through with the match could have led to devastating losses if even the smallest detail didn't go his way. In this version of events, canceling the fight became both a financial and legal survival move. The mix of fear, massive wagers, and mounting law enforcement pressure created the perfect storm. One that ultimately ended with the body cam footage showing him pleading with officers.
And all the while, you're making tons of money. Making money at the expense of your audience. That never really goes down well.
The viral footage only made the humiliation worse. Millions watched Jake's voice tremble as he pleaded with officers, stripped of every ounce of his trademark bravado. Clips spread across social media breaking down every second, his shaky hands, his stammered excuses, his frantic eye movements. But behind the memes and commentary, the reality was far more serious. Hundreds of thousands of dollars lost or at risk, potential legal trouble looming, and the very public collapse of the invincible persona he had spent years building.
I'm hearing you say, Jake, that you're broadening this to people who might get a little confused when they look on some of the other platforms and they see things like Moneyline and
So much time, effort, and energy, and it's like,
but it's also
A closer look at the alleged bets makes the situation even more shocking. Some of Jake's wagers on his own fights were reportedly as high as $250,000 for a single prop bet. Insiders claim that over the course of a year, he risked between $3 and $4 million across multiple fights, online sportsbooks, and even underground high-stakes betting circles. Each wager depended on extremely specific outcomes: rounds, knockout probabilities, and exact point totals. One mistake, one unexpected punch, or one bad round could trigger massive losses. Combine that with sponsorship pressure, non-stop public scrutiny, and the burden of maintaining his online persona, and it becomes clear why the stress may have become overwhelming.
Jake Paul took that and ran with it and then used it as a catalyst to stain Tank's name but not have to fight him.
Canceled fight, and the stack of risky bets collided into a perfect storm of fear and uncertainty. Jake's carefully crafted narrative of heroism unraveled the moment people took a closer look. The fear of financial disaster, potential legal fallout, and the exposure of his high-profile gambling habits led to the most vulnerable footage ever captured of him. This wasn't just a scandal. It felt like a real-life high-stakes thriller, with Jake Paul cast as the protagonist at the center of a personal and public meltdown.
it just pisses me the fuck off. And then
The contrast is dramatic. Just months earlier, Jake was posting neon-lit videos, flaunting wealth, hyping upcoming fights, and daring anyone online to doubt him. Now, in the footage, he appears more like a frightened kid caught sneaking out after curfew, trying to appeal to authority in pure panic. His tone shifts constantly as he pleads, explains, and bargains, throwing out every emotion he can, hoping desperation will succeed where bravado once did. And in one sense, it worked. People couldn't look away. But the psychological angle is even more revealing, at least according to those analyzing the situation. His fear didn't seem to stem only from the possibility of being arrested. It was the fear of being exposed. Fear of losing millions. Fear of watching a carefully crafted public persona crumble in front of the world. Bodycam footage may not lie, and social media only amplifies the rawest moments. In that squad car, the reality, whatever it truly was, hit Jake Paul like a freight train.
on a fucking lawsuit phone call, and they're like, yo, your son has to pay this. Like, it just like so stupid. And like,
Behind the scenes, law enforcement wasn't just watching him panic. They were reportedly investigating a series of serious allegations. Claims of illegal betting, insider manipulation, potential fraud, and even suspicions about influencing outcomes in his own fights made the situation far more dangerous than it appeared online. Had authorities pursued the matter more aggressively, Jake could have faced federal fraud charges, seven-figure fines, or even possible jail time. This wasn't just a social media embarrassment, it was a full-scale career and legal crisis. And the fallout stretched far beyond jokes and memes. Brands were paying attention. Sponsorship deals worth hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions, were suddenly at risk. With every new clip showing Jake at his most vulnerable, his credibility took another hit. Fan trust eroded. And in influencer boxing, trust is everything. Social media immortalizes fear instantly. And Jake Paul has become the latest example of how fame can flip on you in a single moment.
like they're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God, it's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of fucking money.
The stakes aren't just psychological, they're financial. Jake's alleged gambling exposure alone could end up costing him hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions. Legal fees are reportedly piling up, and any potential penalties tied to illegal betting or fraud accusations could easily hit six figures. Add in canceled fights and lost sponsorship opportunities, and the financial fallout becomes even heavier. Every day that clip continues to circulate, every meme, every TikTok edit adds more weight to the collapse of his public image and the strain on his brand.
That's the thing. Is Jake, it's consensual. Two consensual parties,
Well,
two
you didn't
women.
say that word.
No, I'm saying it's consensual. I'm saying these two women
So
came
he
together.
paid women to beat on each other.
Exactly.
So where does that leave him? On one hand, Jake has weathered critics, controversies, and battles inside the ring. On the other hand, this scandal may shape the next chapter of his career in ways he never expected. Can he recover, rebuild his brand, and regain public trust? Or is this the moment that delivers a knockout blow to his renegade image? The harsh reality, at least according to many observers, is this. Jake Paul's downfall felt inevitable the moment allegations of gambling, fear, and ego collided under the spotlight. He went from viral superstar to viral cautionary tale in the span of a single police car ride. And the footage isn't just embarrassing, it's a warning signal on every level: psychological, financial, and potentially career-threatening. So was it ever really about the fight? Or was it panic, pressure, and desperation laid bare for the world to see? Jake Paul might dodge punches in the ring, but he can't dodge the law, the cameras, or the public eye. And right now, all three seem to be coming at him full force.